On 1st June, Embu County is going to host MADARAKA Day. But is it going? How are people in Nairobi going to celebrate it? Because Azimio la Umoja are thinking that not all of us should be glued in the screen following the political statements that will be coming from the slopes of the mountain. And so, I want us to look into inside plan to host a parallel MADARAKA Day here in Nairobi. Venue is yet to be established. Welcome to the bold analysis. And just today in the evening, I've been trying to follow up, by the way, on this prospect of this parallel MADARAKA Day event that is being held. And my mind took me back to the parallel MADARAKA Day that was to be held in parallel Jamhuri Day that was to be held on 12th December. And Raila Odinga flew out of the country urgently to US. It was never held, even though that was to be held here in Nairobi. And you know, it was to go parallel with the national one that was also to be spearheaded by President William Ruto. And so it didn't happen. However, there is some few aspects that are coming out. Number one, some few aspects that we've seen, occurrences. Gaucho, who is actually believed to be Azimio la Umoja key political mobilizer, was arrested today in Nairobi CBD. I think by the time I was shooting this video, had not been released, or rather his whereabouts were not yet clear, but the lawyers were trying to trail where he is. Azimio la Umoja is also calling PG on Tuesday, that is on 30th, and there seems to be, that is the meeting where they are going to communicate what is to be done, or rather what is expected of them, and probably that is the meeting they're supposed to take a position on how, and the strategy, and take us a uniform position on the finance bill 2023. And so there's just a lot that is going on. The same PG is also supposed to be probably attended by former President Uhuru Kenyatta, either in person or virtually, but I think it will be virtually because he is still out of the country. The president is in still in Nigeria. So, ladies and gentlemen, what exactly is it? I've also gotten, because I've been trying to ask when is it, and they tried to secure some fields, but it was not yet still successful, because I think they were denied some few grounds around. We are yet to confirm that. I think the Azimio leadership might give a full statement on that, maybe in the course of the week. But I've still been going through the process of getting a field, a stadium, and it has not yet been successful. So that will come. Azimio have insisted on secession, on establishing their own center of power, parallel to that of William Ruto. And so my light observation could be, this is just one of strategy they're putting to create the parallel, you know, the impression of the parallel center of power. That's what they've been speaking about. But I want to narrow down to look at this. Azimio la Umoja have actually gotten themselves in a situation where they must pick one and run with it. You either decide to go to bipartisan talks or walk out and chat your way forward. There are two options. The dilly-dallying of getting one leg in, getting all your legs in bipartisan, then you move one, then you return. I think that has been a bit of a child's play. And so one thing that I expect here is, moving forward, they're trying to get straight to what they need to do. And so Parallel Madaraka Day would be having 3 objectives. Only 3. I think they want to counter Ruto's political messaging. Let me tell you, in Embu, there's been a week-long activities in the same Embu Stadium. There was one that was, I don't know, to be officiated by Rigathi. Rigathi will be, I think, probably on Tuesday, tomorrow. Then on Wednesday, there will be no activity. Then on Thursday, there will be the Madaraka Day. And there have been different activities going on there. But I can promise you, William Ruto is going to Embu on Thursday to speak about 2 things. Number 1 is finance bill. Number 2 is finance bill. There are only those 2 things. Number 1 is finance bill, number 2 is finance bill. So, finance bill in the context of the whole country, finance bill in the context of housing levy. And this finance bill is going to be spoken in the context of what Raila Odinga team is saying. So what they've also realized is that is on William Ruto. Rigathi Gachagua and his friends are going to Embu to speak about Uhuru Kenyatta and Maina Njenga. They have also added Maina Njenga to that list of people that should be attacked and people that should be profiled. So I can tell you, without fear of contradiction, this is Monday night. The Embu is about Uhuru. On Rigathi, it's about Uhuru and Maina Njenga. Then on William Ruto, it's about finance bill. They cannot talk about KEMSA and contraband sugar. No, they will not talk about it. Don't expect. People, they would, and sometimes I normally say, people keep quiet about very sensitive things like corruption on KEMSA, contraband, but they can't comment about, they can easily comment about other political issues. That's the nature of politicians anyway. So what Azimio team are also doing, I think they're also finding a platform that because the country will be skewed to that line of thought, they don't want Ruto to run away with that narrative about any sort of narrative without in the finance bill, and they're trying to get messaging parallel to that and to counter Ruto's message. Secondly, I see the Azimio wing preparing the masses to protest about the finance bill. I've just been following different groups. Today, Eric Omondi was in Nairobi with content creators. By the way, I know we've always not speaking about us. We've been speaking about others. Do you know that even content creators, we are going to be slashed 15%? And let me say something here. I don't know if the government knows that US chops 25% from us. Our US viewers, those of us who view our content in the US, the US government takes 25%. Then after that 25%, Kenyan government is going to take another 15%. So if you normally make 100,000, the pie is 35. Those who earn below 500 are being chopped 30%. Now, content creators, especially YouTubers, we are going to be chopped 40% of what we get. I can tell you. I think we really make a lot of money. So they're going to take 40% from what we get. I'm telling you. If you think, so I don't know. After that, I don't know whether we also decide now to do the 3%. So people who are in government, below 500, 30% as paid before you pay the other statutory deduction. So us, after that, then what remains, you start paying rent, school fees, statutory deductions, NSSF, NHIF, this. So I'm telling you, it cuts across everyone. If you're in business, there are other taxes there. If you're driving, the fuel is high. I'm telling you, it's not going to be very easy. So what I see here is, I think Azimio wants to prepare the masses. They want to charge the masses because what has been happening here is, I think they've lacked a bit of it. What if this finance bill will have found that mass action going on? And I can tell you, William Ruto had stage managed his leniency and going down and lying low on the mass action because he knew what was in front. If this would come when Raila was doing the Monday protest, then I can tell you we would have really seen full-blown protest. And I also see probability of launching anti-Ruto pushback by the Azimio wing. So if there is plan B, plan C, it will really be launched in this. Remember, it's on 1st June, so that is people are getting to the second half of the year. And I know as maybe the Azimio are also feeling that, okay, in this second half of the year, this is what we do, audit what we've done for the first 6 months, then looking at the second 6 months, this is what we're going to do. By the way, you also need to audit yourself. Even in life, you need to audit yourself. Like, for the first 6 months, what have I achieved? What have I done? So far, where have I reached? You know, did you achieve your objectives? Are you on track? So this is also something I'm seeing, that probably they can also launch pushback moves on President William Ruto. Now, to lawyers, is there a law that stops any other person, any other organization from having a parallel Jamhuri or a parallel celebration like that of the national one? Because I know it normally happens even in the counties. You know, counties take opportunity to gobble some few millions to organize events that are not really attended even by Kenyans. You know, that those are some of the things that they were devolved, but I don't think they should even they were supposed to be devolved. It would have just have remained in the national government. So that is my take, ladies and gentlemen. I don't know what you think on the parallel, and I hope that police will give them, if there is no law that close back any other person, any other organization from holding parallel Jamhuri, then signs of arrests, intimidation like that of arresting Gaucho, and of course quite a number of members of Bunge la Wananchi were arrested, by the way. Let me tell you, I know no one is speaking for those boys, but quite a number of them were arrested last week. I think there were 13 of them. 13 were arrested and they were in Makadara Law Court. So I literally went there and really interacted with some. So not so good. Not looking so good. The future doesn't look so good. But then, niko kaza kamba. Let's meet tomorrow in the next.